The ANC's top six met with the leadership today to discuss the VBS report. ANC officials have been implicated in that province for accepting money from VBS to ensure that municipalities deposited large sums of money into the bank. Ultimately, it's been liquidated, and those municipalities might not receive any of that money back. Last week, it was also reported that the ANC's Limpopo Treasurer, Msiza, gave Advocate Terry Motau until the end of today to retract parts of the report into VBS. He's among 53 individuals and companies accused of siphoning off over 2 billion rand from the bank. We're joined now to discuss this by the ANC spokesperson, Pule Mabe. Good evening to you, and thank you for talking to us this evening. We know, of course, the National Working Committee has met to discuss this issue. It's before the Integrity Commission. What's likely to happen?
Well, evening to your viewers. The National Working Committee of the ANC just concluded with its meeting this evening, and I can tell you that one of the issues that it had to address itself to was the VBS matter. It had agreed that the approach taken by the officials to refer the matter to the Integrity Commission and urge the Integrity Commission to act expeditiously on the matter, so that very soon we could be able to have a clearer understanding on what are the issues at play, especially where our members are either mentioned or implicated.
There is a view that this is just a process to manage the situation politically, that the Integrity Commission will not have much teeth to deal with leaders that are implicated.
I can assure you that this is not just lip service. Look at the speed through which the ANC had acted. As soon as the report came out, on Friday, immediately there was a statement which was issued to the media out on Saturday. Today, there was a meeting with the officials of Limpopo, and the officials of Limpopo, together with our own national officials, have echoed the same sentiment that where there is wrongdoing, heads must roll. So there is a sort of a greater appreciation that we must show and demonstrate to society that we are dealing with the corporate rot.
Is there a single leader that you can mention here that's been sanctioned by the Integrity Committee for corruption?
You would remember that some of the authority or powers of the Integrity Commission were further emboldened in the last national conference. So this would be one of the first immediate tasks that the Integrity Committee, with its revised terms of reference, would be executing. And
so at this stage, the Integrity Commission doesn't have a history of dealing with this sort of thing in the way you've described?
Well, the Integrity Committee would not have dealt with a matter like this, which involves such big amounts, where there could have been some illicit conduct by institutions. So you are now expected to demonstrate to society and everyone that you are serious about the restoration of values in society, the upholding of good ethical standards from amongst those who are charged with the responsibility either to lead institutions of state or even in our own organization. I mean, there's quite a lot of things, Bongani, that the very 54th National Conference is raising on what needs to be done to restore the integrity of the movement.
The difficulty is that you've got a number of allegations that implicate very senior people within your party, officials on the ground in Limpopo, but also the former president. I mean, the idea that he received funding from VBS in the form of a loan without any agreements being signed, and only began to service that loan several months after the monies had been deposited. It paints a picture of not just, a few individuals, but something that was organized with the ANC looking on.
Well, I can tell you that where the ANC has been involved, it has been quick to make sure that it takes action. You must understand, Bongani, the reason why the ANC is acting in the manner that it does is because it must safeguard its own reputation out in society. But one of the things that the ANC has spoken loudly about is the need to begin displaying out in society ethical leadership. Now, there are various things that characterize ethical leadership. One of them is responsibility. One of them is accountability. One of them is responsibility.
Sure, but I mean, you can talk about all of those things and give me those platitudes. All I'm asking you is, people watching us now will not be able to get a loan from any bank without a contract in place. Certainly, they won't be able to receive those monies without any expectation to service that debt for several months. That's what happened to the former president. We're seeing municipalities who gave that money to that bank, and there's been no action. There's been no consequence so far.
That's why, Bongani, if you look at the statement we issued today, one of the things we did was to note and appreciate the work done by COCTA at a national level to begin examining those illegal deposits by municipalities which might have contravened the Municipal Finance Management Act by placing investments with a mutual bank when the Treasury has said that they had issued a circular warning against such actions. So institutions of state are already beginning to act on that. But also, the president of the ANC yesterday in KwaZulu-Natal did say that there must be swift action. You see, it doesn't help us to make lip service on matters as serious as these ones. More so because there are ordinary people that are affected here. It was that gogo out there who would have made a deposit. You know, it was those ordinary toiling masses out there who would have depended on this bank. But by the way, remember that the success of an African bank like VBS alone would have signaled a new beginning, a story that all of us were supposed to be celebrating. But again, one of the things that we should also be looking at broadly is the kind of measures that the ANC has been able to undertake through its role in government. The Prudential Authority is one of them. If we did not have the Prudential Authority, you wouldn't have been able to expose some of these things that are now a menace to our own society.
Right, we'll have to leave it there. We've run out of time, but obviously the fallout from VBS continues and many parties are implicated, including the ANC, but others as well. We'll have to leave it there for now. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back after this.